Hey everybody, it is I, Tony, aka the one and only TTBurger 88, and welcome back to another episode of TTBurger Game Reviews, and today this is episode 40. Yeah, I cannot believe it's been a total of 40 episodes of TTBurger Game Reviews, and it's amazing how about a year later this channel is still kicking and rolling, and we're on episode 40 of TTBurger Game Reviews. And I'm sure, as you can see here in the beginning, I had something new there in the opening. Well, I'd like to introduce you all to the new logo that my buddy and subscriber, my ScootZMedia, made me. This will be the new logo, even though it says TT88. Those are my initials for the channel, and I'll be using that logo from now on. And I put the old one in there in the beginning just as like a one last time thing before I retired. I wanted to use this one, and I thank my buddy ScootZMedia, who's a subscriber and a good friend of mine for that. And I recommend you all checking out his channel because he's a great guy and a good friend of mine, and I thank you, ScootZMedia. But getting things started here, today we're going to be looking at a first-person shooter, and it's been a while since I reviewed a first-person shooter, and the last time I reviewed one was like back in January, where I reviewed that god-awful Armor Marines Project Swarm for the PlayStation and stuff. But today I'm going to be looking at a first-person shooter that, in my opinion, is a fantastic game, but got overshadowed by other more popular first-person shooters like Call of Duty and stuff. And it's a shame because this game is awesome. This game was developed by High Moon Studios and published by Capcom. And that game in question that we're looking at today is Darkwatch on the PlayStation 2 and Xbox, released in the year 2005. When I first heard about this game, I was thinking, whoa, this looks cool. It's like a combination of a Western style and a horror game all in one. And what delivers here is a fantastic game, which has a couple problems with it. It delivers a fantastic first-person shooter that should have gotten very popular, but it was overlooked by other more popular games and stuff like that. And how do we get started here? Let's just start by talking about the story. And the story, in my opinion, is very original. The story takes place in 1876 and puts you in the role of Jericho Cross, a silent protagonist and a gunslinger who lives a life of raiding and robbing trains. And Jericho is sent on one last job to raid a train, hoping to find secret treasure and stuff like that. But unfortunately, Jericho messes with the wrong train, and instead of finding treasure, he unleashes an ancient vampire lord known as Lazarus Miss Malcloth and bites Jericho, and then slowly turning him into a vampire. Now it's up for Jericho to stop Lazarus by joining the Darkwatch, an ancient organization committed to defeating the supernatural evils. Now the story is fantastic. While it may not be the deepest story ever, I feel like it's a story that definitely gets the job done. There may not be much of it, but the story isn't the reason why we play games here, right? I mean, of course, whoever plays a game only for story, that's the thing. Now when you get into the game here, you'll notice that the game's presentation is fantastic. I mean, look at these graphics. For a game that came out in 2005, this game looks a lot better than most Call of Duty games, that's for sure. I mean, the gun models look fantastic, the character models look great, and the animations on the enemies when they die are excellent. Like, bones blow off, limbs blow off and stuff, and they die differently as well. And the backgrounds do look nice and big, and that's actually good when it comes to a first-person shooter here. And like, there's so much here. I mean, this first level here is this is only the first level here, and the first level here looks amazing. And like, when it comes to High Moon Studios and Capcom, they really know how to make the graphics here and stuff. And for sound, the sound is also fantastic. And also, as I mentioned before I get into the sound, there's like no frame rate issues at all. I mean, this is the PS2 version, so there's like no frame rate issues at all. I mean, but I heard the Xbox version is very similar to the PS2 version, so whatever it is, both versions look great from what I heard. And there's like no frame rate issues at all, so that's a big plus in my book. And as for sound, we got the voice acting here, which like is done really well. Jennifer Hale voices a character called Cassidy, and she does the best job. And of course, Jericho may not talk and stuff like that, but the voice acting for the most part is really good. And like for the music, you got this orchestral sounding stuff that comes from that sounds like stuff that comes from Western movies like the Man with No Name trilogy, The Searchers and stuff, Fistful of Dollars and such and that, and it fits perfectly for a Western horror theme. And there are some actually horror songs in here that kind of remind you of like the Resident Evil games too. And sound is definitely a big plus. And also the guns sound amazing too. The guns sound like actual Western guns where you just wanna where it makes you think you actually are Jericho Cross on this train and along other places, just shooting off the guns and stuff. It can't get any better than that, I can tell you that much. But now, let's get into the gameplay, and the gameplay here, wow. All I can say about this for the gameplay is, wow. This is what you call a fun and creative first-person shooter. You got lots of things to shoot. I mean, sure, it's just a bunch of mindless shooting at times, and all you do is shoot things most of the time. But it's what a first-person shooter should be. It shouldn't have like stupid-ass quick-time events like how modern first-person shooters have these days. This is what you do here is shoot stuff, and that's pretty much the meat of the game. And also, you don't just shoot things. Obviously, you also do horseback riding, and you do a couple of horse missions. And like there's one mission where you drive a vehicle and stuff. And there's a lot to do here, and it never gets old. Especially because with the guns you have, shooting and firing the guns and the melee attacks they have make the game even more fun. And this melee attack here, I know Judgment Day, aka Reviews on the Run, Time Token Victor Lucas said this, but your melee attack is so cool because all the guns have like sharp blades on them at the bottom and stuff. That is really cool right there, if you ask me. And I will admit right now, like, even though I say that this game is fantastic, well, actually, I'll get to that a little bit. And there's also some very epic boss fights too. Sure, all you do is shoot them and stuff, but you have to like, it's kind of like you have to plan your head on how you're going to shoot them and how you're going to survive. There are some boss fights where you can just shoot them easily and stuff, while others you have to like take cover and then fire at them and stuff like that. And the story really keeps going. It drags on. I mean, it keeps going and going to where you want to keep playing more and stuff. And especially since Jericho Cross is becoming a vampire and stuff, he can do some vampire-like things. You also have a decision making option in this too, with a good or evil thing where you can suck the life out of somebody or just have them survive. But now we can get back into like now I got some negative things to say about the gameplay here, and that is that like while I had fun with it, I had a lot of fun with this game. It's one of my favorite first-person shooters of all time. One thing I will complain about though is that the campaign mode is not very long at all. You can pretty much blow through the campaign in about 6 or 7 hours. And then like you got some multiplayer mode stuff that you can play as like versus or co-op, but fortunately I don't really have anybody to play the co-op with or the versus with, so I really can't say how it is. But I don't know if there is any online multiplayer. I know for the PS2 there's no online multiplayer, but if there is for the Xbox, then I'm wrong then. But besides that though, both versions play very similar to one another, so it doesn't matter which version you get. You'll be getting pretty much the same thing for no matter what system you have. I just happen to own the PS2 version because I don't own an Xbox anymore and stuff like that, because I was more fan of Sony guys. So yeah, that's the thing. And of course, like with the horse missions and stuff, I gotta mention them with the horse missions that it's really cool how you're firing at like the trains and like, or sometimes leaning to the right or leaning to the left to take cover and stuff. It's really cool and very creative. It sounds like something you'd see in like a John Wayne Western movie or a Clint Eastwood Western movie or so, or such and such. And I liked it and stuff. It's like when I first played this for the first time, I was like, whoa, this is so cool. I never saw a first-person shooter do something like this. I mean, sure, you had games like Red Dead Revolver and stuff like that and such, and the game Gun, but Red Dead Revolver was good for its times like that. But the thing is that was more focused on like the bullet time events like that. And here, this is focused on shooting, just shooting all the bad guys, like a real and good first-person shooter should be. And of course, like you got that one driving mission, like I said, which the driving portion is fun. Like nothing to say about that. It's just a driving portion. But like with the weapon stuff, I also got to mention that like my favorite weapon to use in this game, surprise, is the dual pistols, because they're the only weapon that you can dual wield and stuff, and I like that you can do that. I like dual wield, I like using dual wield weapons, and I feel like it was a great idea. But besides that though, there isn't much else I can say, because Darkwatch is a fantastic game, and you can breeze through, but I'm sure any veteran who's good at first-person shooters will probably be able to breeze through the 21 mission stuff, and then there's extras, and there's an extra mode you can go play it again to unlock more unlockables and stuff, but it really isn't necessary in my opinion. It's not necessary at all, because you beat the game once, you're not going to build up, you're not going to want to play it again for a while. I mean, that's not our problem. It lacks replay value, but it's a fun ride while it lasts. So, what do I think of Darkwatch for the PlayStation 2 and Xbox? Darkwatch for the PlayStation 2 and Xbox is a fantastic first-person shooter. Even though it's a short campaign and there's not much to do after that and stuff, and there's not much replay value to it, I still recommend people to buy this game because it goes for a very cheap price. You can pretty much get it for about like $5 or so, and it's definitely worth it. I will be giving Darkwatch a 9 out of 10 because of the problems I mentioned with it. That's pretty much all I gotta say. This is Tony, aka TTBurger88. Peace out and have a great day, and those of you who celebrate Happy Thanksgiving, Happy Turkey Day, and eat lots of turkey and eat lots of stuffing stuff like that because it's Thanksgiving, and enjoy the parade, enjoy the football game and stuff because it'll be the only time you'll be able to enjoy all this fun. So have fun, everybody, and Happy Thanksgiving from me, Tony, aka TTBurger88.